Hi guys, it's Kai here and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a speed build for my save file. Yeah, you know the save file that I mentioned like probably 2 years ago at this point. It's been a while. So sorry about that. I apparently shouldn't tell you when I'm going to do something because then it immediately makes me not want to do it. Also, I saw I guess it was like a Twitter post or something. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I saw something and they were talking about how you shouldn't tell people when you're doing something because then for some reason, all of a sudden you don't want to do it and then it ends up not getting done. And I'm like, if that ain't me, because here we are forever and a day later, still working on my save file. And I've only gotten 1.5 neighborhoods done in Willow Creek. And I'm afraid to go look back at them because I feel like I would want to change everything. But you know, isn't that the point of like the save files, that slowly over time it'll evolve? Who knows? Whatever. Anyways, doesn't matter. Also, I built this house forever and a day ago. Actually, let me see if I can go back and figure out when I built this house because this has been a while. Like too long. Hold on, let's see. January, February, March, April, May, June, July of last year. Oh my god. This build has been sitting in my to-do list for 7 months. Wow. Yikes. Okay, I just exposed myself hardcore. I don't know why it took me forever to do this voiceover for this, and clearly I've done other builds in the meantime. So why did I do those build speedovers? Those speed build voiceovers before I did this one? I'm not 100% sure. I'm actually really happy with the way this house turned out, so I don't know why I wasn't more excited to share this with you guys. I'm just lazy, I guess is what it boils down to, or else there was always something else that I wanted to post first, or it was just a bad time to post this. Honestly, right now is not a great time to post this because everyone's going to be all still hyped up on the tiny living content, which if you didn't see my videos on that, I posted some, I guess so hold on, when's this getting posted? This is going to get posted on like Tuesday. I posted everything on Sunday. I posted 2 videos so far on that. I don't know if I'm going to do any other videos. Well, I mean, I probably will. I have some more tiny build ideas. But if you didn't see that, I would highly recommend you go check that out just because it's my content and I like to promote it. So yeah. How are you guys feeling about tiny living? I haven't like played with it. I've only built in it and I haven't even played around with the cast stuff as of recording this. I thoroughly enjoy the build items, and I will say that I'm a bit biased only because it is in the style that I really, really like. I thoroughly enjoy that mid-century modern look. It's the same look that came with like the bowling stuff pack, and was bowling a stuff pack or a game pack? The bowling pack. I don't remember if it was stuff pack or game pack. Doesn't matter. The bowling pack and Get Famous were also mid-century modern, and I think there's been a few random pieces here or there that came from like base game and other packs that have been mid-century modern, but the Sims team seems to be leaning hard into this mid-century modern right now, and I don't blame them because it is super popular in general in the world, so you got to keep up with the trends. But also, I love mid-century modern. I've always loved mid-century modern, so the fact that we're getting more mid-century modern furniture, I'm here for, because to me, a lot of the base game stuff and a lot of the items that came in the earlier packs are more traditional, I guess you could say, or maybe like contemporary is the word that I'm looking, like traditional and contemporary. So it either looks like a grandma would own it or like a 30-40-year-old couple would own it. Nothing that my young adult Sims want to have or anything like that. So I needed that kind of middle range, which that mid-century modern fits everything. It checks all the boxes. There are so many people that like the mid-century modern style that I'm surprised we don't have more of it, honestly. Well, now we do with the tiny living pack. But also, I'm really thrilled with how small the objects are, which obviously is the point. But I just felt like a lot of the objects we were getting in previous packs or the more recent packs were huge. Like the rugs were ginormous. I'm sure you can see me putting rugs down right now. They are massive. Also, the tables are what, 3x3 or something like that? I think they're 3x3, or are they 2x2? They're either 2x2 or 3x3, but either way, they're, again, freaking massive. everything just seemed really huge and would take up a lot of space. So it was almost impossible to do smaller builds. And I actually prefer smaller builds because I think I said this in my townhome or townhouse, the university townhouses. The smaller it is, first of all, the easier it is to decorate because you can use less clutter items, but it looks more full. So it just feels really cozy. But yeah, where was I going with that sentence? I don't remember. I don't know. Just the items we currently have were kind of really big. So I was really excited to see some of the smaller stuff. And just the style and the look of the pack, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, my one complaint about it would be that the wood tones don't match, but that's my complaint about like everything every time we get a pack. They do have plain black and white swatches on most things, which is really nice. I'm glad they've started implementing that. But wood tones across the board just don't match, and I don't understand why. Like, I'm not asking for every single wood tone to be in every single object from every single pack. I'm not looking for that, but maybe if we could just have 3 wood tones that were cohesive between every item, not like every item, but any item that comes in a wood tone, I feel like there should at least be the black swatch, the white swatch, and maybe 3 wood tones that are consistent across everything. So if I wanted to match something from Tiny Living stuff to something else, I know I have at least 5 color options that I could go with. I could do black, I could do white, I could do, let's say, a light wood tone, a medium wood tone, and a dark wood tone, and then everything else could be extra. I personally don't understand why we can't do that. I don't know, man. I don't know. One of the things that bothers me is not matching wood tones, because I am so triggered when I walk into a room and I see that there are wood tones that just don't match. Like, it just drives me up a wall. But I'll stop rambling on about that because I'm sure you've heard me complain about that before. So I guess I should go back to actually talking about this build. I had a picture. There was an inspiration picture that I was following almost to a T in terms of the layout. But once I got to the inside, at first I had zero idea what I wanted this to look like. But as soon as I put down a couple items in the living room, it all just kind of came to me. And I did up the living room and I fell in love with how the living room turned out, and that really just set the precedent for how everything else was gonna go. I did have a hard time with this dining room though, because I wanted it to feel like grand and really formal. Like, you know, when you go into, I was gonna say older homes, but it's not necessarily older homes, but when you go into show houses, like what are the builder homes, the model homes, that's what it's called. When you go into a model home, almost every time, at least here around where I live, you go in and they always have this grand, super formal dining room. And for some reason I could picture this house, and whoever, the Sims I put in this house, 100% would have one of those grand, formal dining rooms. So I really wanted to make it feel like that, but obviously it's a very tiny space. Also, I haven't playtested this house fully, so I'm not 100% sure that dining room even works. You might just have to slide things over a little bit, because I think it should. Everyone should be able to get to all of the seats that are in there, I think. If not, you might just have to remove some of the chairs or get a smaller table or something. I don't know, but visually it turned out the way I wanted it to. I was able to, with move objects, I was able to like kind of scoot some stuff around. And then when it came to starting to do this kitchen, I was kind of at a loss because I had this huge space behind where the main kitchen was, which is why I angled the island, because then it takes up more room. But there's still this ginormous space. And I was like, well, what do I do? Because I don't think you'd make that like an eat-in kitchen with another table, because you literally have a table right behind you and you also have an island to sit on. I think I end up just leaving it alone, like not doing anything, but I could be wrong. Again, this has been like 6 months since I've done this, so excuse me if I'm a liar right now, but I did struggle a little bit with that layout, and I did have a hard time picking out colors, because I tend to like grays and whites and blacks and pops of color, but I wanted this house to feel more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but I have a certain thing in my mind. More traditional, I guess, is the word that I'm looking for. More traditional. I was looking at pictures of traditional New Orleans houses, which is what Willow Creek is based off of. So that's how I ended up, first of all, with the floor print, but then also to get an idea of what colors and things I wanted to use inside. I looked up pictures of all of that kind of stuff. So that's how I ended up with the colors that I have, but it was difficult because it's completely different in terms of style than what I usually am dealing with. So it was pushing me to my limit there. Also, I wish I had other items for this pack, because like I said, this was 6 or 7 months ago. So you're probably thinking, oh, you know, you could have used that one item from that one pack. And I'm like, yeah, I probably could have, but it probably came out like after this pack or after I did this build, because I did this so long ago. I am so sorry. It took me forever to get here, but we're here. I swear I'm trying to be better in terms of getting, like, just making content and getting things done in like a timely manner, because it's driving me nuts to do it and like not have things done. But I mentioned this before, and I'm going to keep mentioning it until basically everyone that watches me hears it, just in case. But I'm pretty sure that I no longer want to do Let's Plays, like Sims Let's Plays. I still want to do Let's Plays on other games. Actually, I'm focusing more on Let's Plays on other games. But I don't think I want to do Sims Let's Plays anymore, just because I get bored of them, and it seems like you guys get bored of them. I'm not a great storyteller. I am in my current household. I keep my friends updated on my current household, and it cracks them up, like the drama that's going on in my Sims current household. But I just don't like verbalizing it, you know? It's just something that doesn't come naturally to me, storytelling in that kind of manner. I want to be able to write stories, because I want to be able to like make short films and stuff. I feel like I'm better at that than I am at like verbalizing a story or showing a story in The Sims in a way that I like, because I don't want to make machinimas or anything like that. I don't know. It's hard to explain how I play The Sims. The way I play The Sims in my Let's Plays on here is not very similar, but is inspired by how James Turner does his Let's Plays. Like, I have a goal, I try to achieve that goal as quick as possible. There's not a lot of story or drama to it, just because I don't know. I don't like doing the whole story thing in Let's Plays. This is a very long-winded way of saying that I'm not a good storyteller, and I'm not going to be doing Let's Plays anymore. Now, I might, like, depending on the pack that comes out, and maybe if you guys are still interested in Let's Plays, maybe I could figure out a way to do shorter form Let's Plays that are more straight to the point kind of thing, where I don't worry about generations or needs or anything like that. So maybe Let's Plays will come back in the future in some form if you guys really want them to. But based on what I was seeing, like I said, I was getting bored of them, and you guys were getting bored of them, and I don't know if you guys were getting bored of them because I was getting bored of them, so my content wasn't the greatest, so you were getting bored, or if you were getting bored of them just because Let's Plays don't do well on YouTube. Like, long form Let's Plays just don't do well on YouTube, and I'm gonna be honest, it kind of sucks to spend like 30-40 minutes recording something and then spend a good while editing it, making all the stuff for it, and then you put it up, and then it only gets like a couple views after the first one got like so many views. I have a lot of videos recently, especially after the whole, like, now that I'm part of the Game Changers program, my like first and second parts of Let's Plays usually go up before most people have the pack, so I feel like they're watching it just because they want to see more of the pack, so they have a ton of views compared to my normal videos, and then all of a sudden they just plummet, and that I understand it, but for me, I don't like it because it really messes like with my head. I'm like, what did I do wrong? I don't understand, like, am I just boring or any of that kind of stuff, when in reality it's just people are watching the first ones because they're trying to see as much about the pack as possible. So like, I get it, but then that also just proves to me that no one is really interested in the Let's Plays, so I don't think it's worth it for me to do it. Again, this was a very long-winded explanation for that. I'm so sorry. I've explained this before, and I'm going to keep explaining it, so it's probably just going to get longer every time I explain it. I'm going to keep trying to go back and talk about this build, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory in terms of like how I've been decorating it, because in my mind I already had the family. I think I actually already created the family for this house, and it was a mom and a dad, and I believe a teenaged son, and a younger son, I think. Okay, again, it's been 7 months. I'm so sorry. There's 2 kids. One of them is a teen and one of them is a child. That's all that you need to know. So that's what the bedrooms, those 2 first bedrooms were. And then, like I said, that there is a mother and father. Yes, that's the wording. That doesn't sound right. A couple that are also in the house. And also, I wanted to ask you guys, since I'm still very early on in building my save file, I wanted to know what kind of Sims you were interested in me adding to the world. I want to try and be as diverse as possible, and I want to incorporate Sims that you guys would actually want to use and see in your town. Because what I did is I essentially deleted every single townie that wasn't a household that was well known. So like the Pancakes household still exists, the goth household still exists, there's a lot of them. Well, I mean, it's not a lot of them. There's like a small handful. So pretty much we're starting from scratch. And some of these builds that I'm doing, I am putting my own households in them, but some of them I'm also leaving empty. And then I'm also putting in Sims that are not in households. So they're marked as not in world, but they'll show up walking around the world. But I just want to make sure that I'm including everyone. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys, I guess, a platform to tell me who you're looking for in terms of Sims, like what kind of Sims you want. I already have plans to include as many ethnicities as I can, as many body types as I can, as many genders as I can, but sometimes it's hard, or like I'll forget that I did or did not do something. So if I just had like a list that I know you guys want, that would be really cool and really helpful. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I went through trying to build this build. Oh, when I get to the outside, I'm actually super proud of the exterior, which I think I'm going to get to somewhat shortly. There's a spare room that I had to fill. Oh, dude, that spare room. So in the what's it called? The floor plan that I was using, they had this big room that was supposed to be a garage. And as you know, there's no cars. So I was staring at this room and I was like, what the heck do I do with it? So I think I put an office in there. And it's just kind of like a hangout room. And I think I put TVs and stuff in there because there's no TVs in the formal living room. But now that I'm on the outside, I am so proud of myself. Anyone that's been following me for any sort of time knows that I can't landscape to save my life. I don't know what it is about landscaping, but I really cannot do it. I struggle so much with the landscaping. I don't know. I'm not inspired by anything whenever I see it. I get so discouraged when I start doing it, and it takes a long time to make it look good. But with this one, I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. It's exactly how I wanted it, and I don't think I even had an inspiration picture for this one. I think I was just kind of winging it, which props to me, let's be honest, because I'm not good at that. I always need inspiration pictures for stuff usually. But I like how it turned out. I do wish we had more rocks. Now that I'm putting all these rocks down, we've had, 5 rocks since base game, and that's all we've ever gotten. That sounds like a weird thing to request, but I would like some rocks, please. Can we just get some more variation in our rocks? Because having only 5, and when you do like rock pathways like this, or rock surrounds, it starts to look very the same. Also, the rocks are very large, which I know we have the size up and size down thing. So I think there's another build that I did off camera where every rock that I placed, I actually sized it down, and it does look much better, I will be honest. I'm pretty sure there are some rocks in the debug mode now that we have Island Living came with some more rocks in the debug mode, but they're like big volcanic rocks and like black rocks, and I don't think they have different colorways. So I would like some more rocks, please. Also, I would like some more like bushes and greenery and trees and whatnot. And I know normally when we get a new world, we get a couple new ones, but I'm not satisfied with the ones we have, and I don't know why. I wish I could pinpoint it and tell you what it is that I was looking for, because that would just make it easier to, give me what I'm looking for, but I don't even know what I'm looking for. So I don't know why I even brought that up, because I'm not sure what I'm looking for. Did I do anything in the backyard of this house? Did I? Or did I just give up? I might have just gave up. That's not good. I'm working on that. It's 2020. This is the year of actually trying. It's the year of the things. I'm trying to be better. Actually, my lock screen on my phone says try, try, try. And I am honestly, truly trying. Or at least I have been. It's only the 19th of January. But I feel like I've actually been decently trying. I have had a few days where I was like, nope, can't do it. But that's everyone, right? Like, we all have those days where you just don't feel like doing something. And when I was going to see a therapist, that was the one thing that really stuck with me, is what she said. She said, treat yourself kindly on the bad days, because we tend to all beat ourselves up on those bad days and think like, oh man, you know, I'm not being productive, which means I'm not good at this, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. But sometimes we just have bad days and we have to accept it and just not move on, but accept that bad days are part of being human. And it's okay to have a day where you just lay on the couch and watch TV, or you only do one thing and then you get into bed and binge watch Netflix, or you eat cookies, or whatever it is that you do on your bad days. It's okay to do that every once in a while. Like, it's normal. Now, when it becomes an everyday habit, that's a little bit different, but it's okay every once in a while to have those days. And I got in the habit of every single day being in that headspace of not wanting to do anything, not being motivated, and it just made it worse, because I would come home and I would do nothing, and then I would just lay in bed, and then I would feel guilty because I wasn't productive, and it was this whole spiraling circle of blech, and it didn't go over very well. So that's why I decided 2020 is going to be the year of the things, and it's the year of trying, and it's just the year of trying to push myself, not to the limit, but to push myself to be better and to get better and to learn and to practice, because I have been doing this for like 4 or 5, almost 5 years now, I think, or almost 4 years. I started in February. I can't remember when. It was either 4 or 5 years ago. And it's just, I feel like I should be farther along than I am, and part of that is, I do blame myself for that, because I have only kind of half-assed tried before, so I'm gonna try and do better. But yeah, anyways guys, we are now looking at the screenshots, which means it is time for me to go. But anyways guys, I'm going to leave this video here, and as always, have a life, happy time zone, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!